Hey YouTube, what's going on? It's Alto Sax 31, and we are kicking it off today's episode on Mission 15. And we pick up right where we left off with the last video. This time, somehow the waterfalls turn back on. I think that's actually in the ending cutscene, but once you're starting the mission, you want to come on over this way. We're going to head back into Fortuna Castle. And along the way, we see this training statue that you do need an S to get past it, I guess you can call it. So do it how you please, but as long as the combo does get to an S, you'll be able to proceed and move on. So we almost get it here with a variety of attacks from Rebellion and Gilgamesh using the Swordmaster trick style. And there we go. Real impact saves the day once again. And so once we're past this loading screen, I'm pretty sure by now you guys can guess who's going to show up here. Once again, it's our good friend Mr. Blitz, who somehow, despite being defeated twice already by Dante alone, he continues to come back. But don't worry, this is not the last you'll see of him on this mission by far. And so, of course, my approach with him is always to shoot him with a shotgun to get his shield down, and then try and hit him with a real impact. And if you caught that, I was able to hit him with the distorted real impact, and I brought his health down to 75%. So definitely recommend it. Really should have it in your toolbox of tricks. Now, the unfortunate part about doing that much damage is it causes him to be very aggressive and very unpredictable in what he's going to do. So you really have to be on the quick end to make sure you avoid his attacks. But once we make quick work of him, we can head on further into the castle. And so now this time in the castle, there's some icebergs, I guess you can call them, that are blocking the different entrances to the different doors and whatnot. And if you guys noticed, I did attempt to gather that little orb patch that's up there on that balcony area. But I gave it a quick try and I was like, nope, not gonna try it, and I just moved on. One suggestion I could say is trying to get it with double trigger, since you can do the you can double hike or double jump one more time, so technically triple jump, I guess. That would have been probably an easy way to do it. But yeah, once you get that, before you go over to this library area, you want to make sure to break all those destructible objects and grab those secret orbs over here and head on over. Now, in this part of the mission, more than I care to admit, I've had a little bit of trouble with these guys, with Dante, since it's kind of a restricted area. So what I found was to immediately, once you get into the room, to jump up to that top balcony part and then try and hit him with Pandora and opening the Pandora's box. So you kind of expose them a little bit, because otherwise you have potentially, 5 Angelos all together trying to attack you. And that move failed twice. Finally, on the third time we landed. And I missed the real impact. Let's see, once again, Trickster saves the day. And so, at this point in the fight, I haven't forgotten about that other Angelo, but I'm just trying to do some damage to this one. Weaken him up a little bit. Here we go. Now this one is in a good position for me to take out, but unfortunately I missed some attacks. Here we go. So now it's just mano a mano. one half demon versus one full demon. And he's out. So once you're done with this fight, you want to make sure just before you head on out, grab all these orbs and the benches that you can destroy in the bases. I kind of check every corner to make sure I don't miss anything. There's another bench. And once we get that, we can move on. And there is an orb statue. You can definitely hit that if you want. I end up doing that. It's pretty simple. It just takes a few seconds at the most. And then once you're done, you want to go down this spiral staircase all the way down. And we find ourselves back in the hallways inside Fortuna Castle. But if you notice, they are blocked off because of the boss. And so I guess when you fight him with Dante, his name is Dagon and not Baal, as you do with Nero. Alright. Unfortunately, on this part of the level, there's not a fireball shooting at you, a giant one, so you can kind of just run through it. But once you enter this next room, there's definitely some enemies, which is a nice little break from just running around. So you got your different varieties of Scarecrows that you can take out. And so on this part, I like to use kind of alternate between Dark Slayer and Gilgamesh, just so I have, you know, quick and, well, not necessarily quick, but something that does within melee range, and then with the, I like to say Yamato, but it's Yamato apparently, get to do some long range attacks with its special ability. And of course a good old shotgun. And see, so once you get an enemy by himself, it's a lot safer to do different types of combos and make it a little more stylish. But when there's a lot of enemies on screen, you definitely don't want to draw them out too long, because they will hit you, unfortunately. And we hit him with a roll effect. And I make it out, barely. And we get a rare appearance from Lucifer. And he's gone. And now we got one more. So now you should see it be a little more stylish, because I know there's nobody else I have to worry about, you know, off screen trying to attack me. So we're gonna hit him with a Dance Macabre. And switch it into a real impact. Get a nice double S smoking style. And of course, before you leave, just make sure to destroy all the dinnerware and the nice furniture. Which is strange, because Nero did that not too long ago. So the real question is, who replaced it? I'll let your mind sink on that one. Well, however, once we're done with that, you want to move on over back into this hallway area and destroy those little candlesticks. Green orb is optional. You don't have to grab it, but I do. Grab one more. And then you head back down this hallway. And we got two more that are eagerly awaiting some slashing. And there's also red orbs behind this mirror over here that you can break. So once you grab those, you can head on out and head back down towards this section of the hallway. We're gonna take a left and then head into this double doors. And we all remember this room because it's not very fun. Unfortunately, it's just about as annoying, though there are a lack of Gladiuses in this room from the last time. So definitely want to not get too close of these Frosts, but you do want to keep your distance and be within striking range as well. Yeah, looky there. You know, the worst part about fighting them is knowing when their health is so low and trying not to focus on them too much, but not trying to let them get away so they can regenerate themselves like that. So we get lucky because the Distorted Roll Impact knocks out that Frost in one hit. Ooh, we make it out just in time. So now that the False has appeared, we're in quite a bit of a predicament because we have one pretty strong enemy and then two fairly tough enemies on their own. So my approach is to always take out the weaker ones first if you can, and then focus on the harder one. You always want to try and be isolated with an enemy. This way you can focus 100% on them. So now that we get lucky taking out the Frost one after another, it's just me and the False, not the Frost. A little bit of a tongue twister there. So once you pepper him with some shotgun shells, he should fall. And it's really up to you how to end this fight, but if you haven't figured it already, you already know what I'm going to use. And you'll see what kind of damage it does. And that's it. Once you're done, you want to head back towards this other end of the hallway, back into this well, where you fall all the way down. You want to grab that green orb, and then it's once again a very familiar blue fire mechanism lock. You beat it up a little bit, and then it activates these jump portals for you. I think I messed up because I could have done that other one. Oh, so the other one just shoots you up all the way instead of actually doing these one by one, and so I kind of messed up. So we'll just have to do it all over again. And I did miss the orb statue, but I like to kind of just skip it since at this point, actually, no, I thought I did. Alright, so correction, I do end up going for it. Just using the prop shredder and it is out. So now when I hit that one, it just sends me all the way back up. So I managed to grab all the red orbs and then fall all the way back down and go all the way up. Seems efficient enough, right? So this is definitely one of the longer levels, and you definitely have to have good endurance on this, and it goes without saying, trying to make it as far as you can without getting hit, you will need the gold orbs, because unfortunately a very familiar friend makes yet another appearance in this room, and it's a little tough to evade this person, but there you go. Now you know who it is. It's like, hey Blitz, I saw you earlier, so what's up? But yes, he's here in this very tiny room, and you definitely have to be quick on your feet to stay in the fight with this guy. But if you're lucky enough, if you play it right, he can actually end up attacking the bad guys, the Scarecrows, and you can watch them fight a little bit. But I wouldn't count on it too much, because he could definitely lose interest and then attack you and potentially kill you once. As he, unfortunately, he gets me a few times, but I'll let the video play itself out. It's not pretty. And for some reason, I have a really hard time with him on this one because he keeps moving around. And I'm trying to end this fight as quick as possible, but he is not cooperating. Yeah. Luckily, I managed to hit him without getting hit, but hardly does any damage, unfortunately. There you go. I'm not gonna shoot. No, it didn't connect. Or if it didn't do any damage. And see, so that's what happens when you you fight him. You can't. It's very hard to predict what he's gonna do. I think anyone in that situation would have gone for it, and we would have all been met with the same unfortunate ending. But you know, here he's moving around, he's throwing himself at you, and it's a very small area. So I get hit twice, and you know, from this point on in the rest of the mission, I'm gonna have to be perfect. So definitely puts a little more pressure on me. But you know, having played this mission a few times already on the other difficulties, I know I'm not that far away. But having to fight a boss and not getting hit once, it's a little challenging. But you know, certainly capable at this point. I mean, we do have Dante after all. So once you manage to beat Blitz, you want to head out this way into the graveyard section, and then take out all the destructible objects that we did when we had Nero come through here. So however you want. Dante has a bunch of attacks. You know, Pandora would work. You can just stinger everything. You can do the where you throw your sword. I mean, you can try that. But however you please to do it, you can definitely finish it up. And make sure to grab these 2 orbs over here. They do count. Defenses don't count at all. Nope. And so once you're done, you can just head back through these doors and get ready for the next part of the mission. Alright, boss fight time. So I think it's Dagon, but we're going to go with Dagon. So what I like to do when I fight him is I like to alternate between Trickster, Swordmaster, and Darkslayer. So fortunately with Darkslayer, you just double tap the style you're already on, so up, up, or right, right. So once he gets close, you want to hit him with the prop shredder by just pushing circle, and then hit him with Darkslayer right after that to do a little bit more damage. You just basically avoid. Now, the annoying part is when these little dolls come out, because there's not really too many ways to really do a lot of damage on them. At least none that I've found. You don't want to do Gilgamesh because the combos are a little too drawn out, and it certainly leaves you open to be hit, since they have a few attacks that they can attack quickly with. And on top of that, Dagon's shooting little icebergs while he's hidden. So one of the things I like to do is charge with the sword and just throw it. It does a little bit of damage, and we just kind of shoot them in the meantime, wait for them to try and attack and just counter-attack them. So after a little bit of that, Dagon pops back up. You want to alternate between the 2 attacks that I told you, and just kind of keep on to his sides. This way he can't just immediately get you, he has to turn towards you. Dodge those. Yamato actually does a lot of damage to him, but it's just, you know, you get 2 swipes at the most from it. Anything else takes too long. There we go. So now once you get him down, you know what you want to do. But look how much damage it does. Boom. If I could have landed it again, I would have finished it, but unfortunately I barely missed. So don't worry, you got to keep your cool. Just evade, keep doing what you've been doing, and just trying to finish this fight out without getting hit. Fortunately, we do it. I want to give myself a pat on the back for making it through that boss fight without getting hit. Especially at the end, I remember when I was playing, I got worried, you know, because I thought, hey, at this point, anything can happen. So once you're done with the cutscene, just head on down the lair, and you will be done with the mission. So, not too bad. S on clear time, S on stylish points, and then A on orbs found. So, definitely not too shabby if I do say so myself. 18 minutes is pretty much a long time for a video, but I'm glad. Hopefully, you guys stuck with me for the entirety of it, and this guide definitely helped. So, take care, guys, and I will see you in the next video.